Welcome to Bruhan Mumbai Municipal Corporation's Virtual Training Center, and I am Mrs. Snehal Kodambe, your English teacher from VTC. Let's begin with today's session. Hello my dear children, welcome to today's session. Dear children, in today's session we are going to learn a very beautiful poem, Coromandel Fishes, which is written by Sarojini Devi Naidu. As you must have heard about Sarojini Devi Naidu, she is being called the Nightingale of India because of her work in a poetic way. So, what and to whom she is been addressing in this poem, and how the life of the fishers is been so difficult, that is been described by her through this poem. So, let's start with the poem Coromandel Fishes. So, you must have heard, or you must have read, or you must have learned through different poems and prose the difficult life of the fisherman. आपण समुद्रावर जे दर्यावर्दी असे म्हणतो, जे कोळी बांधव त्यांचं खडतर आयुष्य, याच्याबद्दल आपण वेगवेगळ्या धड्यांमधून, पोएम्स मधून किंवा वेगवेगळ्या मालिकांमधून, पुस्तकांमधून जाणून घेतले. हाऊ डिफिकल्ट देअर लाईफ इज, बिकॉज वी हॅव सीन दॅट in standard 8 you have learned the lesson A Heroine of the Sea. In that lesson we have seen that how difficult is to stay near the sea. कारण समुद्र हा जो असा आहे, निसर्ग आहे, हा लहरी असतो. कधी वादळ येतं, कधी वारा येतो. पावसाळ्यातलं त्यांचं जीवन, पण ह्या कोळी बांधवांना ह्या सगळ्याची भीती न बाळगता त्यांचा चरितार्थ चालवण्यासाठी, पोटासाठी रोजच्या रोज स्वतःचं जीव धोक्यात घालून या समुद्राशी त्यांना मैत्री करावीच लागते. And this is what poet Sarojini Devi Naidu has described in her words in this poem Coromandel Fishes. You can see here Coromandel coast is near the Tamil Nadu. You can see here Coromandel coastal areas in Tamil Nadu, in South India. And so the fishers who stays here, the fisherman we call, the fisherman who stays here, and Sarojini Devi Naidu in her poem Coromandel Fishes, she is addressing those fishermen, and what she is asking them to do, that we will be learning through this poem. So let's read the poem at a glance, and then we will learn this poem stanza-wise. Rise, brothers, rise, the wakening skies pray to the morning light. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn, like a child that has cried all night. Come, let us gather our nets from the shore and set our catamarans free, to capture the leaping wealth of the tide, for we are the sons of sea. No longer delay, let us hasten away in the track of the seagull's call. The sea is our mother, the cloud is our brother, the waves are our comrades all. Next stanza. What though we toss at the fall of the sun, where the hand of the sea god drives? He who holds the storm by the hair will hide in his breast our lives. Sweet is the shade of the coconut glade and the scent of the mango grove, and sweet are the sands at the full o' the moon with the sound of the voices we love. But sweeter, O brothers, the kiss of the spray and the dance of the wild foam's glee. Row, brothers, row to the blue of the verge, where the low key meets with the sea. So this is what Sarojini Devi Naidu is telling these fishermen who stays at the Coromandel coast near or in Tamil Nadu. We'll begin with the first line. Rise, brothers, rise. The awakening skies pray to the morning light. So here she begins with these lines. Rise, brother, rise. Rise means wake up. Rise, brothers, rise. The awakening skies pray to the morning light. She says here, hello, Sarojini Devi Naidu has started the poem with dialogue stating rise, brothers, rise, and allowing the reader to feel as though they are present on the Coromandel coast. Fishermen call their fellow men to get ready to go to the sea. They don't go alone. They go together, and so they call each other, their fellow men, to get ready to go to the sea. This first line of the poem is a call to arms kind of expression, asking other fishermen to get up and start their day because the sun had already risen. You can see here, rise, brother, rise, the awakening skies. Awakening skies means sun is already there in the sky. The early morning skies compared to someone who is waking up from the sleep. Here you can see the personification. Okay, so through this first line, Sarojini Devi, she is addressing the fisherman. Other fisherman, he is asking to his fellow men to get ready to go to the sea. पहिल्या ओळीतच बघा त्यांनी सुरुवात किती सुंदर केली आहे. राईज ब्रदर राईज. एक दुसऱ्यांना ते उठवत आहेत. कशाला? तर आता आपल्याला समुद्रावर जायची वेळ झालेली आहे. सूर्य ऑलरेडी आकाशात आलेला आहे आणि ते एक दुसऱ्यांना उठवून आता ते समुद्रावर जाण्याची तयारी करतायत. The fishermen call their fellow men to get ready to go to the sea. Here you can see the early morning sky. The early morning sky is compared to someone who is waking up from sleep. See the line, the awakening skies pray to the morning light. पर्सॉनिफिकेशन हा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच आपण बघितलेला आहे. तर इथे स्कायला पर्सॉनिफिकेशन केलेलं आहे. We'll move to the next line. The next line. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn like a child that has cried all night. Here next he says that the sea wind that leads to the storm is now calm. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn like a child that has cried all night. Here you can see the figure of speech is simile, isn't it? It is as we have seen figures of speech. So here it is compared to the child, like a child, like. So here the you can see the figure of speech. Simile has been used by the poet. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn like a child that has cried all night. रात्रभर जसं रडून रडून मूल सकाळ झाली की आईच्या कुशीत झोपतं तसं हा वारा रात्रभर त्यांनी धुमाकूळ घातलेला आहे. वादळासारखा हा घोंगावत होता आणि आता पहाट झाल्यानंतर जणू काही तिच्या कुशीत तो शांत झालेला आहे. म्हणजे वारा पडलेला आहे. जेव्हा असं शांत समुद्र असतो त्यावेळेला हे फिशरमन आपापल्या बोटी घेऊन समुद्रामध्ये जायला निघतात बिकॉज दे कॅन row them easily. That is the smooth sailing for them. Third line. Come, let us gather our nets from the shore and set our catamarans free to capture the leaping wealth of the tide, for we are the kings of the sea. So beautiful lines are here. We will read them again. Come, let us gather our nets from the shore and set our catamarans free to capture the leaping wealth of the tide, for we are the kings of the sea. In the third line, the poet asks the fisherman to gather nets from the shore and set catamarans. Catamarans, that is a kind of boat which they use for fishing. Free in order to capture the leaping wealth of the tide. Leaping wealth means here fish. For we are the kings of the sea. Why they are called kings of the sea? Listen carefully. Like kings who have both power to rule and responsibility to take care. The Coromandel fishers too have their own power to rule the sea as they go for fishing and the responsibility to take care of the mother sea. किती सुंदर ओळी आहेत बघा. तो आपल्या फेलो जे फिशरमन आहेत त्यांना सांगतोय, कम लेट अस गॅदर अवर नेट्स फ्रॉम द शोर. जे समुद्राच्या किनाऱ्याला आपण टाकलेली आपली जी जाळी आहे ती आता आपण गोळा करूया आणि आपल्या बोटी ज्या आपण बांधून ठेवल्या आहेत त्या आपण आता सोडवूया आणि आपण कुठे जाऊया तर ही सागर संपत्ती गोळा करायला जाऊया, कारण आपण या दर्याचे राजे आहोत. आता इथे दर्याचे राजे त्यांनी का म्हटलंय, जसं राजाला एखाद्या गोष्टीचा जबाबदारी असते तसंच तो त्याचे हक्क सुद्धा गाजवू शकतो, तसं हे त्यांनी स्वतःला म्हटलंय की आमचा या समुद्रावर हक्क सुद्धा आहे आणि आम्ही या समुद्राची तितकीच काळजी सुद्धा घेतोय. Come, let us gather our nets from the shore and set our catamarans free to capture the leaping wealth of the tide, for we are the kings of the sea. Leaping wealth of the tide means here fish, because they are going for fishing. So that is the leaping wealth of the tide. लाटांवर जी समुद्र सागर संपत्ती आपल्याला मिळते, लाटांबरोबर येते, त्या समुद्र सागर संपत्तीला आपण गोळा करूया, बिकॉज वी आर द किंग्स ऑफ द सी. नेक्स्ट यू कॅन सी हिअर catamaran, which is used by fishermen when they go in the sea for fishing. Next, no longer delay, let us hasten away in the track of the seagulls call. You can see here seagulls. तुम्ही असे पण सीगल्स बघितले असतील जेव्हा तुम्ही बीचवर किंवा समुद्र किनारी फिरायला वगैरे जात असाल. No longer delay, let us hasten away in the track of the seagulls call. Here the poet asks the fishermen to do everything fast. No longer delay, don't be late, do everything fast. And where you should go, the track of the seagull's call is the track by which the seagull has gone in search of fish. By following the seagull's track, the fisherman can easily get big catches of fish. See here, that is the where in the direction these seagulls fly. Even the fishermen go in the same direction so that they get the plenty of fish, because that is the indication where they can get the plenty of fish. हे सीगल्स ज्या दिशेने उडतात ते जे कोळी असतात, जे दर्यावर्दी असतात, ते त्यांच्या मागे बघा, ते फिशरमन त्यांच्या मार्गाने त्यांच्या मागे जातात, कारण निसर्गामध्ये ती एक इंडिकेशन आहे, ती एक ताकद आहे, ती एक शक्ती आहे. पक्ष्यांना बरोबर माहिती असतं की समुद्रामध्ये नेमकं कुठे जास्त मासे आहेत आणि ते मासे खाण्यासाठी ज्या दिशेने हे सीगल्स उडतात त्यांना हे कॅटरमॅन जे फिशरमन आहेत ते आपल्या कॅटरमन्स मध्ये बसून फॉलो करतात, so that they can go on the right track when they will follow the seagulls. Here hasten means hurry away, be fast, be quick, don't be late. The sea is our mother, the cloud is our brother, the waves are our comrades all. See here what poet is telling. The sea is our mother, the cloud is our brother, the waves are our comrades all. The fishermen, they have the relation with the sea, not only the sea, with the cloud, with everyone, whoever they see there. Sea is their mother, the clouds are their brother, and the sea waves are their comrades. Comrades means their friends and all. The poet calls sea as their mother, cloud as brother, and sea waves as their comrades, that is companion, their friends. Here again the poet uses the personification. You can see here, sea is considered the mother because it feeds them and helps them to sustain their life. Because of the sea only they can sustain in their life, because they get fish and so that they can sell them and they can live their life. Similarly, clouds are their brothers because they guide the fisherman, while the waves are companions because they keep moving with them. The poet thus wants to say that they all are family and help each other. We will read those lines again. The sea is our mother, the cloud is our brother, and the waves are our comrades too. So here the poet, as I said earlier, she uses the personification. She considers sea as the mother because the fishermen are feed, and at the same time sea helps them to sustain their life. Similarly, clouds are their brothers because they guide fishermen when they are on the sea. And the waves are their companions. Their comrades means companions because every moment they keep moving with them. So in this way the poet wants to say that they all are in one family or they are all family members. इथे किती सुंदर बघा समुद्राशी नातं जोडलेलं आहे. त्यांनी किती म्हणतात की सी इज आवर मदर, समुद्र आमची आई आहे, क्लाउड इज आवर ब्रदर, हे जे ढग आहेत ते आमचे बांधव आहेत, बंधू आहेत, आणि ह्या ज्या समुद्राच्या लाटा आहेत त्या आमच्या कंपॅनियन आहेत, आमचे फ्रेंड्स आहेत, आमचे कलिग आहेत, कारण ह्या समुद्रावर आम्ही जगतो, समुद्र आमची काळजी घेतो. हे जे क्लाउड्स आहेत ते आम्हाला गाईड करतात. आम्ही जेव्हा आकाशात असतो तोपर्यंत जसं पहाट होते तसा ढगांचा रंग बघा कसा असतो, संध्याकाळी तो आकाशाचा रंग बदलतो, म्हणजे केव्हा समुद्रावर जायचं केव्हा मागे फिरायचं हे आम्हाला क्लाउड्स दाखवतात. And the sea waves are companion because they keep moving with them. समुद्राच्या लाटा ह्या त्यांच्या बरोबर सतत सोबत करत असतात जोपर्यंत ते समुद्रावर आहे. The sea is our mother, the cloud is our brother, and the waves are our comrades all. Next lines. What though we toss at the fall of the sun, where the hand of the sea god drives? What though we toss at the fall of the sun, where the hand of the sea god drives? Here, hand of the sea god drive means when the boats lose their control and track in the storm, then who saves them? The sea, right? Sea god is there to save them. That is, they believe there. That is their belief. So what they say is that let's move fast and follow the track of the seagulls. The sea is our mother, cloud are our brother, and waves are our companion. Even if we are still far away from the shore, we are not very close to our homes, we are far away from the shore, we do not fear anything because we are protected by the sea god who has the power to control the storms. किती छान समुद्रावरची किंवा निसर्गावरची त्यांची श्रद्धा या ओळीतून व्यक्त होते बघा. What though we toss at the fall of the sun? What though we toss at the fall of the sun, where the hand of the sea god drives? फॉल ऑफ द सन म्हणजे इव्हनिंग झालेली आहे, रात्र झालेली आहे. अगदी रात्रीपर्यंत जरी आम्ही समुद्रावर राहिलो तरी सुद्धा आम्हाला जराही भीती वाटत नाही, बिकॉज वी आर सेफ इन द हँड ऑफ द सी गॉड. समुद्र देवता जी आहे ती आमचं रक्षण करणार आहे. इवन इफ वी आर स्टील फार अवे फ्रॉम द शोर, we do not have any fear in our mind because we are protected by the sea god and who has the power to control the storm. Even the storms on the sea is controlled by this God, and so he has all the power to save our lives. We are not at all worry about anything. ते म्हणतात की समुद्रात आलेली वादळं, या लाटा, हा झालेला अंधार, आम्हाला कशाची भीती वाटत नाही. आम्ही किनाऱ्यापासून खूप आत आलेलो असलो तरी सुद्धा आम्हाला भीती वाटत नाही, कारण ही समुद्र देवता आमचं रक्षण करते. Toss means row the boat. Okay. What though we toss at the fall of the sun, where the hand of the sea god drives? So, see the next lines. He who holds the storm by the hair will hide in his breast our lives. The strength, the faith which they have upon the sea is continued in these lines. He who holds the storm by the hair. The sea has so much strength, it is so strong. Sea God, it protects our lives, and we are very sure that even if storm it will occur in the sea, we are going to be safe because the sea God is going to hide us in his breast. Our lives are safe in his hand. Here you can see alliteration has been used. See, H is repeated in these words, he who holds. H is repeated, so here alliteration, that is the figure of speech, we can find. Next lines. Sweet is the shade of the coconut glade and the scent of the mango grove. With their shade falling on the hot sand, the coconut trees are cool. After a day's horrible work, the fishermen return and take rest under those coconut trees. You can see here, whenever they are very tired, because they set out for this fishing early in the morning at the dawn, and when they get tired, when they return, they are too tired, so they are resting under this coconut tree and under the cool shade of this coconut tree, and they feel very fresh when they rest in the shade of the coconut glade. Glade means coconut shade. And the scent of the mango grove. When they get that scent of the mango grove and when they rest under the coconut tree, they are very fresh. त्यांचा सगळा थकवा निघून जातो. पहाटे पहाटे किंवा रात्री अगदी ते गेलेले असतात फिशिंगसाठी, आणि जेव्हा ते येतात खूप दमलेले असतात. अशा वेळेला ते समुद्रकाठच्या नारळी पोफळीच्या बागांमध्ये किंवा वनराईमध्ये आंब्याच्या मोहराचा सुगंध घेत जेव्हा ते तिकडे रेस्ट करतात, तेव्हा ते पुन्हा फ्रेश होऊन जातात. But this is not last for a long time, but these joys are very for short time, they are temporary. थोड्या काळासाठी ते रेस्टिंग करू शकतात. Why? Because again they have to set out for the sea, and sweet are the sands at the full o' the moon with the sound of the voices we love. So these are some resting or the golden moments for them. They can rest in the coconut glade, under the coconut tree, or in the mango grove, and on the sands when there is full moon in the sky, and the voices of their loved one, their family members, their children, their family members. But these moments are very less for them, or they are only for short time. नारळा पोफळीच्या बागांमध्ये त्या सावलीमध्ये पहुडणं किंवा रेस्ट करणं, वनराईमध्ये रेस्ट करणं किंवा घरच्यांसोबत थोडा वेळ राहणं, चंद्राच्या चांदण्यांमध्ये समुद्राच्या त्या किनाऱ्यावर वाळूमध्ये पडून राहणं, आणि आपल्या फॅमिलीचा, आपल्या मुलाबाळांचे आवाज त्यांच्या कानावर पडणं, हे जे काही आनंदाचे क्षण त्यांच्यासाठी असतात ते अगदी थोड्या काळासाठी त्यांच्यासाठी असतात, असं आपल्याला इथे कवयित्रीने या ओळींमधून सांगितलेले की their life is full of struggle, their life is full of work, they do not have time to rest. Whenever the very few moments are there in their life, but they just enjoy those moments because they have to again set out for their work and they have to work hard. So they, that is like power, we can say that power nap or energy boosted moments for them. Next lines. But sweeter, O brothers, the kiss of the spray and the dance of the wild foam's glee. Although resting under the coconut trees is comfortable, although the sweet smell of the mangoes is wonderful, although the time spent under the full moon with the sweet sound of our dear ones, yet we are not going to stay here in our houses. We are again going to the horizon where the sea and sky meet and play. ते असं म्हणतात की ह्या सगळ्या मोमेंट्स आमच्यासाठी खूप स्वीट आहेत. रेस्टिंग अंडर द कोकोनट ट्रीज, स्मेलिंग द स्वीट स्मेल ऑफ द मँगोज, spending time with our near and dear ones, But all those moments are, though they are very sweet, but we are not going to stay here for long time. Again, we are going to the horizon where the sea and sky meet and play. Again, where we are going to the edge म्हणजे जिथे समुद्र आणि आकाश आपल्याला एकमेकांना भेटताना दिसतात. आपण त्याला क्षितिज असं म्हणतो. त्या क्षितिजापर्यंत पुन्हा आम्हाला जायचंय. हे कितीही सुंदर सोनेरी छान क्षण असले तरी त्यांच्यामध्ये आम्हाला फार वेळ गुंतून राहता येत नाही. Concludes the poem with these lines. Row, brothers, row to the edge of the verge where the low sky meets with the sea. Row, brothers, row to the edge of the verge where the low sky meets with the sea. In the last line, she asks the fisherman to depart for the point in the sea where the sun meets the sky, that is the horizon, because they cannot enjoy or they cannot be living for more time in their houses with their near and dear one under the coconut shade or in the sweet mango groves. Again they have to set out for the horizon. So in this way, Sarojini Devi Naidu in her poem Coromandel Fishes, she has described the life of the fisherman, very hard working fisherman, and how their life is. Their life is full of hard work and they have to do that hard work for their family, for their children, for their near and dear one. So in this way we have learned this poem and we have got to know the life of this fisherman very closely. Some new words from this poem. Catamaran, I have shown you the picture of this. That is the type of a boat. Then comrades, friends, glade of the coconut tree. That is a grassy open space in wood or forest. Track, seagull's track. That is path or road shown by the seagulls. We will see some more new words. Grove, that is a small group of trees. Then glee means delight and verge means age. There are some more phrases in this poem. We will read them and then you can make your own sentences with using these phrases. Leaping wealth, we have seen the meaning of this phrase. No longer delay means be quick. Wakening skies means morning skies, and kiss of the spray, that is the foam of the sea. Now this is an activity time for you. So there is a sweet activity for you. Select a few lines from your favorite nature poem in your mother tongue and translate them into English. किती छान activity आहे बघा. कोणतीही तुमच्या आवडीची तुमच्या मातृभाषेतली एक निसर्ग कविता घ्यायची, निसर्गावर आधारित, जशी आता आपण बघितली, आणि त्याचे इंग्लिशमध्ये ट्रान्सलेशन करायचं. पूर्ण कविता घेतली नाही तरी चालेल, एखादं कडवं घ्या, 4 ओळी घ्या आणि त्याचं इंग्लिशमध्ये ट्रान्सलेट करायला ट्राय करा. बट दॅट ट्रान्सलेशन शुड बी इन पोएटिक फॉर्म. ओके. That's all for today. So you will revise whatever we have learned in today's session. Please subscribe the channel and press the notification button to get the link of next video. Bye bye.